What if everything you've been taught about attracting women is completely wrong? What if chasing her attention is the very reason you never truly get it? And what if, by mastering a few timeless Stoic principles, you could flip the script and make her chase you? If you're a man who's exhausted from always being the one who cares more, always the one texting first, trying harder, and feeling like you're constantly one step behind, then this video is exactly what you've been waiting for. Because today I'm about to completely flip your perspective on dating. You've been fed lies. You've been told that to win a woman's heart, you have to chase her, impress her, win her over with effort and attention. But here's the raw truth. Women are not attracted to men who chase. Sure, they might entertain your attention for a moment, but they won't respect you. And without respect, they won't fall for you. Not deeply, not truly. Biologically, women are wired to be drawn to men who have options, men who aren't desperate, men who aren't begging for attention or bending over backward just to be noticed. The second you start chasing, you've already lost the game. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to be that way? That with just a few powerful shifts in your mindset and behavior, you could become the man she thinks about. She pursues. She can't get out of her head. This isn't some pickup trick. It's not about pretending to be an alpha. It's about becoming a high-value man, one who is so grounded, so secure in himself, that women naturally want to be around him. And at the core of it all, Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches calm, control, and clarity, and it's more relevant today than ever before. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to embody these traits in a way that makes women gravitate toward you, effortlessly. But before we dive into the 10 Stoic secrets, we need to talk about one critical shift, your mindset. We live in a world that bombards men with awful advice. Be overly nice, compliment her nonstop, text her good morning and good night every single day. And guess what? None of that works, because women don't want to be worshipped. They want to be intrigued. They're instinctively drawn to strength, independence, and emotional control, to men who have their own mission, their own purpose, and don't fall apart if a woman doesn't text back in 5 minutes. When you chase her and smother her with attention, you're telling her, loud and clear, that you have nothing more important in your life than her. And that is the biggest turnoff there is. What women truly crave are men who are focused on something bigger than the relationship. Men who are steady, confident, and in full command of their emotions. That's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video, how to stop chasing and become the kind of man who doesn't need to. Because he's already the storm, the calm, the foundation. This isn't about games, it's about real transformation, starting now. So let's begin with the very first secret. Secret 1, master your emotions. It sounds simple, but this is where most men fail, and fail hard. In a world where emotional outbursts are normalized, true self-control is rare. She doesn't text back for a few hours, and suddenly you're spiraling. You overthink, you assume the worst. You go from calm to anxious in seconds. And here's the brutal truth. Women are repelled by emotional instability. Why? Because it signals insecurity, and insecurity kills attraction. A man who can't control his emotions is unpredictable, and unpredictability doesn't feel safe. Women want to feel grounded around you. They want to know that no matter what happens, you won't break under pressure. Now, that doesn't mean being cold or detached. It means having emotional discipline. When you're calm and composed, even in chaos, you radiate strength. So here's something practical you can do. The next time you feel triggered by anger, jealousy, anxiety, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, will this matter a week from now? Most of the time, the answer is no. Train yourself to respond, not react. A man who masters his emotions commands not just respect, but admiration. Because calm is magnetic, calm is rare, calm is contagious. And whether she realizes it or not, women will test your emotional strength. If you can remain centered, unshaken by small dramas, she will start to feel something deeper, respect. And from respect comes pursuit. Secret 2, stay true to your values, no matter what. Not betray your values for a woman. The moment you compromise who you are to please her, you lose her respect. And without that, attraction fades. Women are drawn to men who stand for something, who live by a personal code, who don't change their path just because someone questions it. This doesn't mean being rigid or arrogant. It means knowing who you are and not sacrificing your identity just to keep someone around. Too many men give up their passions, their routines, their ambitions just to make her happy. They stop going to the gym, they skip their work or ditch their goals thinking love means sacrifice. But here's the hard truth. A man without purpose is a man without power. Women don't chase men who orbit around them. They chase men who are grounded in their mission, whether she's in the picture or not. If you abandon what defines you, you become easy to sway. And women do not respect men who can be easily swayed. So here's your action step. Write down your 5 core values, the things that are non-negotiable in your life. Maybe it's your health, your career, your discipline, your faith, your personal growth. Whatever they are, live by them. Let them guide your decisions. Let them shape your boundaries. Because when a woman sees that you're anchored in something solid, something bigger than her, she'll respect you. And respect is the soil where attraction grows. Next, we dive into secret number 3, where your words lose power, but your presence begins to speak volumes. Stay with me. This one's a game changer. Earlier, we talked about living by your values, how standing firm in who you are makes you a man worth chasing. Now, let's build on that foundation by cutting off one of the biggest habits that keeps men stuck in weakness: chasing validation. Secret 3, stop chasing validation. This is where most men fall flat, and they don't even realize it. Stop chasing validation. I get it. You want her to like your photo. You want that quick reply to your text. You want the heart emoji on your Instagram story, something, anything, to let you know she's into you. But here's the cold, hard truth. The more you seek her validation, the faster you push her away. Women can sense neediness before you even say a word, and nothing drains attraction quicker than a man who is desperate for her approval. Here's what you need to understand. You should never need her to validate you. The moment you do, you hand her all your power, and she feels it. Think about it. If your entire self-worth depends on whether or not she texts you back, what does that say about how you see yourself? Women don't chase men who need them. They chase men who are already whole, men who don't require their attention to feel worthy. If you're constantly glued to your phone, checking for her response, if you're fishing for compliments, if your day feels ruined when she leaves you on read, then you're not just chasing validation, you're giving your power away. And here's what happens next. She stops respecting you. She stops admiring you. She stops seeing you as a man worth chasing. Why? Because you've made her your source of self-worth. Now flip the perspective. Imagine a man who's focused on his goals, who doesn't flinch when a text goes unanswered, who knows exactly what he brings to the table. That man doesn't ask, does she like me? He asks, do I even like her? That's the mindset shift. You're no longer performing for her approval. She's trying to earn yours. So the next time you feel the urge to seek validation, stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what do I value in myself? What am I proud of? What am I building that has nothing to do with her? Validate yourself. Focus on your own mission. Recognize your own strengths and start celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Because once you do, your energy changes. And when your energy shifts, she feels it. She starts to notice that you're no longer orbiting her. You've become the sun. Steady, powerful, impossible to ignore. Women are drawn to men who don't need approval because those men exude certainty. And certainty, my friend, is magnetic. Secret 4, trust in your abilities. If chasing validation is about seeking reassurance from others, then this next step is about building it from within. Trust in your abilities. Too many men move through life full of self-doubt. They second-guess their words, their actions, their worth. And that uncertainty bleeds into every interaction, especially with women. But here's the thing. If you don't believe in yourself, why should she? Confidence is contagious. When you walk into a room knowing you're enough, people, especially women, feel it. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about puffing up your chest or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about owning your value, knowing that you bring something to the table, whether you're building a company, mastering your craft, or simply working on becoming better day by day, your path matters. Women aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to certainty, to men who move with purpose, to men who speak with quiet confidence, not loud desperation. Because confidence says, I don't need to convince you. I already know who I am. But when you doubt yourself, it shows in your posture, in your tone, in how you hesitate. And when she senses that, she doesn't feel pulled toward you. She pulls away. So what can you do? Start by acknowledging your wins. Every time you reach a milestone, big or small, own it. Whether it's hitting a fitness goal, learning a new skill, finishing a difficult project, or just showing up for yourself when it was hard. Stop minimizing your achievements. Start building momentum, because every small victory stacks up, and as your confidence grows, so does your magnetic pull. The result, you stop worrying about whether she likes you. You start asking if she aligns with the standards you've set for your life. That's when the dynamic flips. You're no longer trying to prove yourself to her. She's now proving that she deserves a spot in your world. And that shift, that inner knowing, is what makes a man unforgettable. Up next, we'll dive into Secret 5, where silence becomes your strength and presence speaks louder than any words ever could. When you stop chasing validation and start trusting in your worth, something powerful happens. Your energy shifts. And once she senses that you're grounded in who you are, the dynamic begins to change. Let's move deeper into how real attraction is built. Secret 5, your choices carry weight. Every decision you make tells a story. And whether you realize it or not, she's listening. The fifth Stoic secret is this: your choices carry weight. And that weight, it either builds attraction or crushes it. Here's the reality. Women are tired of indecisive men. If your go-to answer is, I don't care, or whatever you want, then you're unknowingly killing her interest. Every shrug, every you decide, every passive moment chips away at the magnetic pull you could have had. Women are naturally drawn to leaders, men who make decisions with clarity and confidence. It doesn't mean you always have to be right. It means you're willing to take the lead. Because leadership shows strength, and strength, real, quiet, assured strength, is what ignites attraction. Indecision, on the other hand, signals weakness, and weakness is never attractive. Every time you make a choice, big or small, you're showing her that you can handle life. And that, more than anything, is what women want. A man who can carry his own weight, and when needed, hers too. And no, this isn't just about big life choices like moving in together or choosing a career path. It's about the small, everyday things. Where to eat, what movie to watch, where to go on a date. When you decide with confidence, you're telling her, I've got this. And that is incredibly attractive. Here's a simple but powerful tip. If she asks, what do you want to do tonight? Don't hesitate. Don't say, whatever you want. Instead, say something direct. Let's check out that Italian place you mentioned. It looked good. Even if she disagrees, she'll respect you for taking initiative, because deep down, she doesn't want to carry the burden of always leading. That's your role. Remember, women don't chase passive men. They chase men who know what they want and aren't afraid to act on it. So stop overthinking, stop hesitating, make decisions with purpose. Even if you make a mistake, that's fine, because decisiveness, even with flaws, beats passivity every time. A man who acts shows he can handle the outcomes of life, and that's the kind of man she wants to follow. Secret 6, ask for favors. This might seem counterintuitive, but it works. If you want to build a deeper connection with a woman, ask her for a small favor. This is based on something called the Benjamin Franklin effect, a psychological phenomenon where people feel more connected to those they've helped. When you ask a woman for a small favor, like recommending a book, helping you pick something out, or sharing her opinion, you're doing two things at once. First, you're inviting her to invest in you. And second, you're subtly signaling confidence. Because contrary to what many men believe, asking for help doesn't make you look weak. It shows you're secure enough in yourself to let someone contribute to your life. Here's the key. The favor has to be small, genuine, and thoughtful. This isn't about manipulation. It's about building real rapport. Don't ask her to help you move apartments or do something that feels like a chore. Instead, tap into something she enjoys or knows about. Maybe she's into books. Ask her for a recommendation. Maybe she's into fashion. Ask which shirt looks better. Or maybe she's into music. Ask for a playlist suggestion. Simple, easy, effortless, and powerful. By doing this, you're telling her, I value your opinion. But you're also not putting her on a pedestal. You're giving her a chance to add to your life, not because you need her to, but because you welcome her input. And here's the twist most men miss. The more someone invests in you, even in small ways, the more connected they feel. It's human psychology. We value what we put energy into. So the next time you're with her, ask for something light. What's a good place to eat around here? I'm looking for a gift. What do you think of these two options? It doesn't have to be profound, but it does have to feel real. Because these little favors, they build bridges, not by forcing connection, but by inviting it. And over time, those small interactions create a stronger bond without you ever needing to chase her. Secret 7, deep conversations. Forget small talk. If you want her to truly connect with you, if you want her to chase that connection, you need to go deeper. Deep conversations are what separate you from every other guy out there. Women crave emotional depth. They want to feel understood, like they can open up without judgment. When you talk about your dreams, your struggles, your goals, you show her a side that most men keep hidden. And that kind of vulnerability, when used right, is a superpower. Most guys stay in the safe zone, work, hobbies, surface level jokes. But that's not what creates intimacy. That's not what makes her feel like she's met someone different. Ask her what drives her, what scares her, what she wants in life beyond the next weekend. And when she opens up, truly listen. Engage. Share your own thoughts and stories. Not to impress her, but to let her in. To show that you're interested in more than just how she looks. That kind of connection, it sticks. Because when a woman feels seen and heard, that's when the walls start to fall. That's when attraction becomes something deeper, something real. In the next part, we'll uncover Secret 8, a truth few men realize, but it could be the reason why she either stays or disappears. We just explored how deep, meaningful conversations build powerful emotional bonds, the kind that move you beyond surface attraction. But connection alone isn't enough. If you want her to truly chase you, the way you communicate and what you choose to reveal matter just as much. Secret 8, effective communication is key. Let's be honest, communication is everything in relationships. But here's the brutal truth. Most men are terrible at it. They either say too little or too much. They dodge the truth or try to dominate the conversation. Either way, they miss the mark and it kills attraction. Women don't want to guess what you're feeling. They don't want cryptic one-word texts or over-explained speeches trying to impress them. What they're truly drawn to is clarity. Not louder words, not longer stories, but calm, confident, intentional communication. When you speak with purpose, when you express your thoughts and feelings honestly without fear, you show that you're emotionally secure. And that's magnetic. Being direct doesn't mean being cold or robotic. It means you know what you want and you're not afraid to say it. Let's say you want to see her this weekend. Don't drop vague hints like, we should hang out sometime. Say it clearly. Let's get together Saturday evening. I've got a spot in mind. And when something's bothering you, don't bottle it up or try to twist the conversation to manipulate her response. Be honest, but composed. Because women respect men who can handle real conversations, even the difficult ones. Avoiding hard topics doesn't make you easygoing. It makes you avoidant. And she will notice. If she senses you can navigate a tough conversation without turning defensive or shutting down, she'll see you as emotionally mature, a rare quality that sets you apart. And remember, it's not just about talking, it's about listening. When she speaks, don't just wait for your turn to talk. Really listen, respond thoughtfully, show her you're engaged, not just present. When you communicate well, you're telling her, you're safe with me. And that creates the kind of trust that leads to real connection and real pursuit. Maintain a sense of mystery. Here's where most men get it wrong. They lay everything out in the first few conversations. Every detail, every story, every childhood trauma, boom, all on the table. But here's the thing. Curiosity fuels attraction. And once the mystery is gone, so is the chase. Women love discovering someone layer by layer. They want to feel like they're slowly unlocking new parts of you, not flipping through your entire life story in one night. When you reveal too much, too soon, you rob her of that thrill. The thrill of wondering, of imagining, of uncovering pieces of who you are, bit by bit. Now, don't misunderstand. This isn't about playing games or being intentionally secretive. It's about pacing your self-disclosure. You can still be open. You can still share. But hold back just enough to let her imagination stay alive. If she asks about your past or your plans for the future, give her a glimpse. Just not the whole novel. Maybe you say, "That's a story for another time," or "I'll tell you, but not all at once." Let her chase the next chapter. Let her lean in, curious to know more. Because when you're mysterious, you're intriguing, and intriguing men are never forgotten. They stay on her mind long after the conversation ends. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about understanding that fascination grows in the unknown. So next time you feel the urge to overshare, pause. Share enough to be real, but not so much that she feels there's nothing left to discover, because the man who leaves her wondering is the man she keeps coming back to. Secret 10, patience is power. In a world that's obsessed with speed, fast replies, instant dates, quick results, patience is a lost art. But in relationships, patience isn't weakness, it's strength. When you rush things, you send the message that you're desperate, that you're not confident enough to let things unfold naturally. Texting too much, pushing for labels, needing answers now, all of it creates pressure, and pressure suffocates attraction. On the flip side, a patient man stands out. He trusts the process. He's not in a hurry. He knows his value and doesn't feel the need to force anything. And that self-restraint, that calm confidence, it's incredibly attractive because women don't want to feel pushed. They want to feel pulled in by your presence, your energy, your stillness. So what does patience look like in action? It's taking your time to get to know her without demanding something in return. It's giving her space between texts instead of chasing a response. It's not needing to define the relationship in week 2. It's being still enough to let her come toward you. Because here's what most men never realize. When she senses that you're not rushing her, that you're not afraid of time, she begins to chase you. She starts wondering what you're thinking. She starts craving more of your attention because she knows you're not giving it to everyone. Patience says, "I don't need you to complete me." It says, "I'm whole with or without you." And that energy, that's what makes her chase. So next time you feel tempted to force the moment, step back. Let the silence do some work. Let her miss you. Let the anticipation build. Because the man who moves slowly, intentionally, and with calm confidence is the one who gets chased in the end. Now that we've uncovered all 10 Stoic secrets, the question is, how do you apply them consistently and become this man, day in, day out? In the next section, we'll bring it all together and show you how to truly embody what you've just learned. Let me know when you're ready for the final chapter. So far, you've learned that patience isn't weakness, it's power. It shows control, confidence, and the ability to let attraction build naturally. Now let's tie it all together and look at what happens when you live out these Stoic secrets, not just in your dating life, but in every area of who you are. Patience reflects inner power. When you move at your own pace, you communicate something few men ever do, that you're in control. You're not rushing, you're not chasing, you're not afraid of what might happen if you simply wait. That kind of calm, quiet confidence, it's irresistible. Patience says, "I know what I want, and I'm not afraid to wait for it." And women respect that. They respect a man who isn't scrambling for attention, a man who doesn't try to lock them down too quickly or smother them with neediness, a man who can hold his ground while everything else moves in chaos. Patience is power. And it's a rare kind of power, the kind that radiates without having to say a word. When you let things unfold without forcing the outcome, something remarkable happens. You create space for real attraction to grow. You're no longer just another guy texting too much, oversharing, or trying too hard to impress. You become the man who lets things evolve naturally. And that evolution, that's where real, lasting connection is born, because women are drawn to men who can hold steady, men who don't panic when things take time, men who can wait for the right moment, not jump at the first opportunity out of fear. That's the energy that pulls her toward you, and that's the man who doesn't chase, because he doesn't need to. These 10 secrets are more than just dating advice. Let's be clear. These 10 Stoic secrets aren't just gimmicks or shallow tricks to get women to like you. They're principles, foundational values that will reshape not just your relationships, but your entire life. When you learn to master your emotions, when you stand firm in your values, when you stop chasing approval and trust your own ability, You don't just become better with women, you become a stronger, wiser, more grounded version of yourself. And that transformation, it doesn't go unnoticed. Women feel it. People around you feel it. You feel it. Suddenly, you walk into a room and the energy changes. You're not the guy being overlooked anymore. You're the man people respect because you respect yourself. You become the man who doesn't settle, who knows his worth, who leads his own life with purpose and clarity. But let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't easy. Becoming this kind of man requires effort, discipline, and a deep commitment to personal growth. If you're looking for shortcuts, this path isn't for you. But if you're ready, truly ready, to become the man you were meant to be, to stop being ignored, to stop chasing, to start commanding respect and admiration effortlessly, then these 10 Stoic principles are your roadmap. They are timeless truths rooted in ancient wisdom and proven by generations of strong, respected men. This is your moment to act. So let me ask you, are you ready to do the work? Are you tired of feeling invisible? Tired of chasing women who don't see your value? Tired of settling for less than you deserve? Then it's time. Time to step into your power. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join this community of men who are committed to becoming their strongest selves, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Don't wait, because every day you hesitate is another day you let opportunity pass you by. Another day you stay stuck in the same patterns that brought you here in the first place. Click that notification bell too, so you never miss a video that could unlock a part of your potential you've never tapped into. We're here to help you every step of the way, but the first move, that's yours to make. Your transformation starts today, because let's face it, you've played small for too long. Now it's time to rise, embrace the Stoic way, step into your strength, and watch how the world, including women, starts to chase you. Thanks for watching.